No, I have actually something I wanted to bring up for a while, because this is something that I think is really, really weird that happened to me. And I want to make sure you guys think it's weird too. So
before you start,
okay,
we are here with Caitlin Weierhauser, Portland comic extraordinaire.
Oh, yeah.
A couple weeks before she goes to LA.
Yep.
Other people's successes are not my failures.
You keep repeating yourself.
That is important, actually.
Keep repeating.
That
It
cannot
really
be
is. Caitlin's one of my
understated.
favorite peers
Sometimes.
and friends. Yeah, really. Like, I'm one of the only ones that doesn't feel that way about you.
Wait, what way?
Never mind. You didn't know? So anyway, she just got back from Just for Laughs in Montreal. She got a manager, and she's off to the big city.
Oh, good.
I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do for the year while you're gone, but I'll keep your bed warm.
Thank you.
No, I wish you the best, and I love
Thank you.
Caitlin. She's hilarious. But yeah,
Yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Your presence is much appreciated. Are you excited about your move to LA?
Yeah, and stressed.
Are you familiar with LA? Like, do
yeah.
you already know the city pretty well?
A little bit. I lived there when I was like 21 for a little while.
Okay.
And I've been to visit a couple times. But yeah, like the general kind of layout.
Yeah.
Like I know my neighborhood. I know kind of where I'm situated.
Are
I know a
you
little bit of how to
moving
get
there
around.
with people, friends, just
Solo mission?
flying living solo?
Yeah, actually, and renting a friend's studio apartment, which is going to be the first time I don't have roommates in
A while.
a long time.
Yeah. Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a couch that I can come sleep on?
No.
How big's your bed? I call
We'll
Little
talk
Spoon.
off air.
Okay, so let's get to Brady's story, and then we'll come back and we want to hear all about you going to
but
LA.
I definitely want Caitlin's opinion on this too. Okay, so you guys know, I know you know, like 2 weeks ago I went to the Oregon coast for like 4 days to Lincoln City. And we bought a little VRBO for the 4 days that we were there.
What's
and,
VRBO?
Vacation rental by owner.
Okay.
So you own a house someplace where people like to rent places, and you just rent it out to people. VRBO.com is a website that you can go and that's like
cool.
wherever area you're looking for, they'll have places available.
Lincoln City is where we also produced the Undertow Comedy Festival.
Always be plugging.
2019. Check back.
Right.
Get pulled under.
Okay. So it is. I took all four of my kids, and it was just kind of a 4-day kind of getaway.
We haven't talked about your kids yet. How old are they?
I have 8-year-old Lucy. I have 6-year-old Tucker.
He had to close his eyes and think about it. What are their names?
I have 2.5-year-old George,
Oh,
I like the
and
name
I
George.
have 7-month-old Mason. So it's a fresh batch.
Yeah.
I need to tell later the story about George being the chub grabber. He is so cute. He's the little mischievous,
really
dark-haired
cute.
one. I like
Yeah,
him.
and he's starting to talk so much now. It's really adorable.
So you go to Lincoln City.
So we go to Lincoln City, and we go check out the house. Super nice, really nice, right on the beach. Love it. It is, we go to the master bedroom. Okay, we get all our kids situated. Go to the master bedroom, and I'm going to show you a picture of this. I don't know if we can put this in front of the camera so people can see this. I'm immediately weirded out because there's a room inside the master bedroom. There's a big walk-in closet, but there's also a room, and it's right behind the master. So the master bed. I hope I explain this correctly to the listeners who can't see, but the master bed faces the ocean.
Yeah.
The big wall of windows on the where the master bedroom is, and then behind the master bed, above the headboard, is a window with shades drawn so you can't see what's behind.
You know what that's for.
I think I do. This is what I'm getting at.
You know what that's for.
Did you go to the rental that we had when we did the festival for the Overflow?
Oh.
Basically the Drunk Loud comics.
Frat house.
Yeah, it was basically. Did you go to that house?
The McMansion?
Did
Yeah.
you see my big... So my bedroom had a weird room off of it, like that.
Like a sex
So
room?
there's a door to this room,
think they call
but
it a
it's
sitting
locked, and none of the keys work on this door.
Okay, that's this. Yeah.
And
it's the supply
I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the master bed with the window behind it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I want to see so bad.
That's weird.
I'll put the picture up.
That's
So
it's a kinky sex thing.
I told my wife, I said, had I known about this in advance, like if someone left a Google review and said,
BT dubs.
Place was nice. Love the ocean. Great weather.
Window to the sex dungeon right behind.
Weird room behind the master bed that I don't really fully understand the purpose of.
So yeah, this reminds me.
Was there somebody in there?
That's where I'm
Not
meeting
that
at.
I could tell.
How do you know?
I'm watching a
And
show.
so here's the door going into there from a different view with
Yeah.
a padlock, electronic padlock that controls security for the whole house, I think.
Yeah.
From that spot. That makes sense to have a little security pad in the master bedroom.
It's kind of like a panic room, maybe, but also
But not because it's a door and not like a vault.
reinforced. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's a naughty sexton.
right. And so I think to myself, why? Maybe, and I'm thinking maybe the owners want to have a room that is just untouched by their renters.
It's where they
right.
keep all their towels and sheets and cleaning supplies.
I
There are
doubt it.
closet for that.
Yep.
And I
No.
knew where they were.
And you can lock
But
a closet.
Were those locked?
No.
Because the one in our rental was locked.
Well,
it was
that
open.
makes me feel better because I hope you're right.
It was open when we did
You're
the
wrong.
walkthrough. So, side note, this is
I'm
what
for sure on some voyeurism website now.
so hot.
It's just like happy sleeping couples is the
Right.
just snoozing.
just snoozing.
Right.
It's 100% wholesome.
90% of the time. But I got the idea. I attached my charger to my phone, pushed record on the video of my phone, and I threw it through the door underneath.
Oh, you fucking MacGyver shit.
All right. Yeah.
this-
No,
You
I
ran the risk of that coming off your charger.
thought in worst
Yeah,
case
but-
scenario, I call the property management company up and say, my phone's in there. Why are you doing that? Oh, because it's weird. And that's
kid
why.
was playing with my
And
phone.
Why are you doing
Why do you
that?
have a room inside the house I rented that I can't go into, but has a
you can-
window?
So you were
Very
obsessed with this room the whole
easily.
time.
Yeah.
You can very easily be like, oh yeah, a kid kicked the phone under the door, whatever. You don't
Kids
need to
are
worry about
great
that, but that
excuses.
was amazing.
So what did it
What
look-
did you capture?
Yeah.
Nothing. Went
dark.
through and
Ceiling.
just ceiling and the doorknob.
Yeah.
I thought there's some way I could
Flip it.
flip my phone. So I had these more heavy duty charger that I flipped through. I thought maybe I could twist the cable from behind the door. And before I did this, mind you, I'm practicing on other doors in the house where I can be on both sides at the same
I
time.
just love your wife being like, we are on vacation.
My wife's like,
could
Yeah.
we just?
Nope. She's like, he's quiet. I'm going to let him do this. Just like one of the kids.
Right.
Like, he's keeping himself busy.
anyway,
Mission Impossible phone under
anyway,
the door.
it was fruitless to say the
But
least.
good engineering there.
I tried my best.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
respect for that.
And there's a lot of windows. When I looked at the outside of the house, I could tell there's windows that go to
So
that
he did a
room.
walk
Okay.
around. He did a walk around,
right.
you guys.
Well, yeah, you gotta scope
to be
it
like,
out.
let's see if there's
Especially if it's like unaccounted for space, right? It's clearly a weird room.
Have you guys seen that? Probably not, because you guys probably have lives. But there's a new show on Netflix called The Five. And it's basically about this little kid that goes missing when he's like 5 or 6. And then he resurfaces, and so do a bunch of other abductees like 20 years later. Well, there's this guy. Spoiler alert, by the way, quit listening for about
Ruining
4
everything.
minutes if you're watching the show. It's like episode 2 or 3. So there's a music recording guy, and he had like one hit song, and he has a recording studio in his house, and he has a big window in the recording studio. And every time people come in, he'll be like, oh, look at this. Look how soundproof it is. Hold on one second. I'm going to cough.
Gross. You hear that
And then
rattle?
I'm just getting
death
over
is
a
on
cold.
her.
We gotta go to
Sorry.
a doctor.
It's much better than it was if you listen to the last episode. So
Whooping cough.
you go in and he'll close the door and he's like, boom, 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 on, and there's no sound. But then there's another window inside. And they're like, well, that's weird. What's on the other side of that window? And then it flashes to the other side of the window, and it's a bunch of screaming girls all chained up being like, help.
What if it's a sauna?
That has nothing to
Sorry.
do with my story.
I got bored really quickly in that one.
Oh, I lost you at chained up screaming girls.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
lost me. There's a show on Netflix.
I can't wait till you're
Because then if I know.
I'm like, you had me.
Boring.
You lost me at, what was
There's a
it?
show on Netflix.
This video will
I love your
resurface.
faith in me and also your pettiness. Because I wouldn't want other people using a sauna. It would make sense to have like a little window just for
That's
safety.
what I felt like.
what
If
it was
I
a little
owned a
sauna?
home, I want one little piece that no one touches. Maybe it's like a reading room.
But
It's a
that looks
supply closet.
small. Like
No, it's a big room.
Oh, is it?
It's a big room. It's like big enough to be like, there's furniture probably in there. Like when I sized it up, it's like probably 3 times the size of the walk-in closet.
the window over the bed is suspicious.
Off-putting.
Yes.
Suspicious.
But it could
Why?
also be a recording studio. Like maybe it's how they can afford a freaking vacation house and shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there's no recording equipment
But you
in
know,
the
the
master
more
bedroom
they're-
because there's just a bed there.
The
Yeah.
more you bring up the window, the more that is a weird thing to have in a supply closet.
Am I on a weird website right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Image search.
Yeah.
Your own face.
Okay.
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 Let me get the bottom
I'm
of
on
this.
it.
Make sure you look like
I always wanted to be famous. So
This
this is how it's going to happen for me. Guys.
not a way to do it.
No. No one gets
you know all
famous like
those
this, right?
famous amateur porn stars?
Right. All of them.
they forgot to lock our supply closet and at the.
Did you steal all
No, I wanted to.
the toilet
Because
paper?
they had all these brand new awesome blankets and sheets still in the package.
They would have just
Like,
been like,
walls of sheets and
yeah, it
pillows.
was them.
and they
Charge them.
were- I didn't.
That's not a crime you're getting away with.
If I would have got it.
Like
away
all
with it.
signs point to you.
And it's stuff people had left there too. There was a big bag of stuff people had left.
Yeah.
Like
Other
half
people's
a-
houses in general just kind of freak me out a little bit. Like there's just like, especially ones where, like there's a guest book. I hate guest
I do
book.
too.
Because it's like, these are all the people who have had sex in the bed before you did.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm just like, I don't.
It's one
that's
thing
what I
to
think.
know that it's true and like stay in hotels, but it's another one to be like, oh, and that's what their handwriting looks like, and that's how they felt their trip was. Like it's,
now I know more information about these people.
But we kind of have the same thing for hotels. We like read the Yelp reviews of every hotel, which is basically just a guest book for them.
I have a handheld blacklight I take to hotel rooms with me.
Oh, that's a
Handheld
mistake.
what?
You can
That's
a
a
handheld blacklight that I will full on. I don't
wouldn't do
work there
that.
anymore. I stole it from the vet clinic. It's for
You are a
checking.
stealing stealer.
I am. Sometimes I think about stealing, and then sometimes I do. But it's always innocent.
One's a crime and one is not. Right?
To quote Adam Carolla, I won't quote Adam Carolla. Never mind. Like it's a terrible.
Yeah, is he an
No,
authority
I'm gonna
on
stop.
morals or law?
No, yeah, he was like, you can think about doing something real bad, but you're not one unless you think about doing it. Anyway, I'm going to not share that quote. But anyway, we had a handheld, looks like a little mag light, and it was for checking for ringworm. And
Do they?
Did any of your hotel
Do
rooms
ringworm-
have ringworm?
you can go to my Instagram, Amanda Grace Funny Face. Have you ever done Jokers in Tri-Cities?
No.
So it's a triple run. And it's Tri-Cities is rough. Nothing
We
against
stayed
our
in the
listeners in
Motel 6
Tri-Cities.
there, speaking of black lights. We didn't want.
So I pulled
Do ringworms
back.
love raves? Why?
Yes, that
You
is
just shine it and
exactly-
they're like,
no, you can't just shine
They're
the
on
lights.
Molly
You
and
have,
they're just going nuts.
you have to you have to turn on you have to turn on techno music and
Yeah.
then they do it. It's an even medium. You gotta get your levels right.
Just come dancing out.
They're like, what? The girls are holding their shoes because their feet hurt.
The female ringworm.
Yep.
They have one shoe. Goes on the
shoe.
bottom.
That's how you
They
know.
have like 27 shoes.
That's how you know.
I think they have lots of feet. I'm not sure.
That's a centipede.
I don't know.
You know the classic 27
They're brown
legs.
under skin in a circle. I have no idea. They're gross looking, and they creep me out. Anyhow, yeah, if you shine a black light on ringworm, it lights up, and that's how you know it's ringworm.
Okay.
So I shined it. I pulled the sheets back on the first bed. It was solid. It was fine. We're good. Second bed, pull it back.
Party.
It was the biggest
Bacteria party.
round stain right in the middle of the bed. And I had just a friend come with me that wasn't a comic. She just wanted to hang out. And I was like, well, this is your bed.
You asshole. Do you
this is
think
where
they
you
didn't
sleep.
wash it, or do you think it was still there even after washing? Because
So-
the second one is far more distressing.
I think that's what it is.
Tori said, Tori's a Portland comic that her dad owned a hotel for many years. She said that sometimes that the detergent, because they're washing such a high volume of sheets at a time, that if they don't get like spun all the way through, that the laundry detergent can build up and cause that to happen. That sounds like something I would tell a customer if there was
Yeah,
a
definitely.
just stain
That's
stain on there. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, sometimes the laundry detergent gets
It's
stuck on
actually
there. Like,
too clean,
it's too clean.
is what the problem is.
If you get a rash, it's because
opposite
laundry
of what you
detergent
thought.
has acid in it.
Oh,
And it's,
I like that spin.
Yeah.
That's not scabies.
So I don't know if that's
soap
true.
Kisses. It's just-
Soap kisses on your soft skin.
it's not scabies.
It
That's
is
not.
weird. You're right. It is weird that it's not kind of all over the sheet because it was tousled in the machine. It was in one spot in the middle of the bed where somebody might lay in the middle of the bed, like around their torso area.
Yeah, I have a tendency to go worst case scenario and just always I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's some kind of interesting conspiracy, it's definitely true.
Yep.
And if I think it's some kind of flesh-eating bacteria, definitely is. Definitely is.
Definitely.
Well, I think the only two things that would light up like that would be blood or semen. I don't think urine or feces would light up like that. So
Do they not? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I have a really good way of knowing if it's feces or not.
Poop.
It's brown.
It's brown.
That's how you know.
But
that old
not
trick.
if it's that weird.
Get my magnifying glass out. I'm like,
Not if it's that weird.
Yep.
Real sick butt pee. Like, you
poop,
know.
guys.
I call
Also smells really bad.
Smells exactly like poop, you guys.
I call it butt pee when you're so sick that it's just doesn't have any texture to it.
But
I've
still,
been working with poop for 37 years. I know the smell anywhere.
If anybody in this room
Poop
knows
detective.
poop better,
Dun, dun, dun.
I have the most poop knowledge in the room from being a vet tech. Like I have we had a chart that I wanted to steal it from work again. Third steal reference.
Yep.
It's just my job.
12 minutes.
You were in my office today.
I was.
Yeah.
I didn't get any.
I feel like we should hang upside
Check
down and shake all my dental tools out of your
I
pockets.
did.
Checker bag.
No,
It's huge.
I did.
And suspicious.
I'm suspicious. I did threaten to steal the Sonicare on the desk. And
I
then-
heard that. That was audible.
No,
if you thought you were thinking that, you actually said that out loud.
No, I said it out loud several times where the older receptionist lady was like, kind of keeping an eye on me. She was like, this one?
Oh,
I don't know
Tanya,
if
she's no
getting-
nonsense.
I liked her.
You're not going to get anything past her.
So anyway, I didn't steal anything.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
did want to steal the poop chart because it had all the different kinds of poop and where you should lie in there. Well, where your dog should lie.
You shouldn't lie in any of that poop, probably.
No, don't lay down in it.
Very few types that are good for that.
Yep.
So Caitlin, you moved to LA.
Thank God.
We'll see if that gets edited out.
So I have a comedy question for the comedy ladies here.
Okay.
And this is a kind of
Comedy
old.
people.
This is kind of old news, but I am curious as to you guys' take. So a couple weeks ago, I read that Louis C.K. did a couple of surprise sets in a couple of clubs in New York City, or close to New York City, and a lot of people were saying that that's inappropriate. He shouldn't be doing that. He should allow everyone. He should announce his coming so that people who want to be there can be there. But I'm curious as to what you two think about that. Are his sins so grievous that he can never should he just move to Europe?
Or Mordor.
We have
Mordor. Yeah.
means of communication to talk to Europe, though. I don't know if you know. We can probably just shoot out a couple tweets and be
I mean, Russell Brand
heads
seems
up.
to be doing okay.
Right, but what I'm saying
he
is
does this one thing.
okay, should he go into hiding? Should he just
Yeah,
find
that's different than
some town in northern Africa where he just can blend in? Because I don't think you could blend in there. But
What are your thoughts on? I am actually
I don't
curious
know
your
if
thoughts
I-
on this, Caitlin.
care what he does. It's
Okay.
just that it's frustrating. It's frustrating on so many levels. It's frustrating to hear so many people that are either physically actually around us in the scene or just kind of around comedy in general that are active on social media, right? That have we'll say all the opinions. Say what is he supposed to do? He's just
That's
supposed
kinda-
to
yeah, I don't
hide.
know. I mean, I don't
And,
know the
he's
answer.
paid enough. He actually but so that's frustrating because the way that I see it, he hasn't paid for any. He's not been affected at all. The people that he did it to have been 86, have been blacklisted, have been carrying this kind of mark on, people aren't hiring them because it's oh, you're that lady, and we just don't want to be in the drama, which is a really convenient
really,
way.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I agree with that, but he did.
That's terrible.
I'm not being. What did I say in the car?
a simplifier. You are a fucking simple.
He did film a whole. Just let me talk for a sec.
Here we go. This is going to be like the show on Netflix story again.
Randall will just mute her mic. It's
We
fine.
did. I seem to be the one that gets picked on a lot lately, and we'll talk about
You're
this
doing
later.
the most.
I know. I'm always doing.
It circles back to everybody.
He did film a whole. Was it a movie or a TV show? A movie that got.
Oh, the daddy one?
yeah, and it got chicken, which I'm not saying it shouldn't have. I'm just saying, so he did lose that. And even though he is still, I looked up his net worth the other day. It was Randall and I feel like it was still, we were in the car. Yep.
It's a lot, I'm sure.
It was like 12, an insane amount of money.
So to me, it's frustrating that people are like, "Oh, he can't feed his kids." Oh, no. Like,
No,
Louis
he
fine.
can-
Don't
he's
worry about
fine,
Louis.
He could feed a lot of other people's kids.
If you were exactly
I have to look it up
genuinely
now.
concerned for the well-being of people who, directly related to this situation, maybe the people that he actually did this to should register on your like emotional Richter scale. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how are they? Like, why do we care how Louis is? Sorry. I know he didn't like murder anybody. It's not to like, fucking kill him. No, it's just like, he's fine. I don't know why we're so worried about whether or not he can feed his kid. Believe me, he can. He's fine.
Okay, let's
No,
play a game.
I
The
don't
other
care about
thing
that.
is,
My
like,
question is
are
like,
they
is
okay?
there a road to redemption?
I think a lot. I think
that's
I think there is, and I think we're not. I think we're shit at it. I don't think we figured out. First of all, the varying degrees of like.
right. There's no like precedent for like,
No.
if you did this, the comic must do 1 year of absolute silence,
Right.
and then you
Or,
can get back into
penance, right?
slowly go back to open mics, and then you work your way back out and you start over again.
We're shit at it because unfortunately the precedent is there,
Yeah.
and that the abuser or the person in power is always fine. Like that's the precedent, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like hopefully fix that a little bit, or like maybe do better every
And
time.
what's the way to
we
do
have
that
these
is
opportunities
hard.
where people fuck up. Let's try to do better this time. So like apologies and stuff are good, and like showing them like you want to get better and you don't want to do this anymore. Not just like bury it like a thing on your credit report. It's like no, you like show that you want to get better or that you'd never want to do this again. Show that maybe, and if not, then stay the fuck out. Like you don't get to stay a performer. Like a performance is the thing, and we try to act like it's like any other job, and it's not.
It's not.
Like excuse me, too much Coke. Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola.
vanilla Coke Zero, plugging. Our success as performers depends on our ability to get people to come along with us and get on our sides. Like it's like social
You have to be
manipulation.
likable.
We have to be and even if you are the most, like anti-comedian, whatever, like the most heel of a comedian, right? Bar like wrestling term, it's still that like that interaction relationship that you have with the audience. So if you are like a sexual abuser, like the people can't like
It's kind of like
experience your comedy without knowing that about you.
Right.
So like that now becomes a part of who you are because it is who you are as that guy. Address that. So maybe start with that. But this whole like, it's been long enough. He just falls off your record. Like, no, it's not a parking ticket. Like, it's not. I don't know if those fall off your record.
Yeah.
Also,
it's something I thought. It's a great point. Yeah, no, that's a great point.
Was what he did criminal? I feel like it should be.
no,
He didn't lay hands on
and they
it.
Privacy in the only. I mean, is it like lewd?
like
maybe a
indecent
misdemeanor.
exposure.
But you're in a hotel room.
and entrapment because it's not technically kidnapping.
It's not
but it was,
public.
so it could have been if they pressed charges. And the other thing is like people are like, allegation. No, he straight up admitted to
No,
it. Stop pretending
he
like
admitted.
this is like convenient. Like
Yeah.
you're suddenly so concerned with the law.
I'm just going to interrupt
go
just
ahead.
for a second, though. The question of does it fall off? So, did you guys watch the roast of Rob Lowe?
I watch all the
yeah.
roasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I
on the
like
roast
them.
of Rob Lowe, what was the reoccurring joke? That he had sex with like a 16 or 17-year-old girl
Yeah.
in
Yes.
like 1991 or whatever.
It's true.
So if that happened, and he was 25, 26, I think. Don't quote me on the numbers, but he was a grown man of age. She was not, and that was an ongoing joke. So if that happened, apparently it's been enough time because people that are active members of the movement of protecting women and speaking up about the the horrible things that men are doing or being accused of doing, or however you want to look at that, they sure spoke lightly of Rob Lowe during that. I mean, did anybody else think about that?
But have you seen how good looking Rob Lowe is?
I remember being jealous as a kid because it wasn't me.
He's really handsome.
Real.
So dark.
That is real.
That's
being
so
like, why didn't Rob Lowe try to do dirty things to me? I know. At least you will always get the honesty from me.
So
I feel the same way about. I feel like female teachers are sexually assaulting so many teenage high schoolers, and I was like, why didn't that ever happen to me?
Yeah, that's
not in my high school.
Yeah, that's a common thought, though. That's like when you hear about a male teacher sexually assaulting a girl, you're like, he's terrible. But then you hear about like the hot female teacher, because she has to be hot or the story is not good. But the hot female teacher, same with the high school boy, and instantly so many people are like, attaboy. And it's still a kid. Either way you look at it.
That's very toxic.
That's
still
a kid.
Really depressing. I will say, like, maybe the Rob Lowe thing, right? It's not that we're like, oh, well, he, like, enough time has passed, whatever, or just that
standards were lower.
We were shittier about it.
Standards were lower,
and we
for sure.
stay shitty about it. I just don't think the focus, and I know that Louis is head and shoulders the bigger comedian, like the more visible.
He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I really. Like top 5 all time. I liked his material a lot.
Can you
just as a
put yourself in
consumer.
the audience of a comedy club, and Louis on stage?
Oh, I would be
now today
excited in a way like
today. How do you feel?
If he came in and I was sitting in the comedy club and he just does a surprise 15
or whatever, or you knew he was on the show, but how does it feel? How would it feel to you to hear his comedy?
Would
today?
you be distracted?
I
by
wouldn't
the
leave.
thoughts?
Yeah.
I'd be too enthralled. But I'm the one who looks at a car wreck too. Like, so I mean, so just because I wouldn't leave doesn't mean I'm
that
not
you're
like
condoning.
that. I'm
No,
ambivalent towards
curious.
that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely stay. I wouldn't leave. I would understand if people left, but I would, because I want to hear, hey, where have you been? What's life been like? I'm interested in that and knowing. His side of the story besides
how
a little.
How does it feel if he doesn't talk about it at all? He just doesn't address it. He kind of acting
he didn't.
like it didn't happen.
He didn't do that.
I know.
And that would bother me tremendously. That would be like, at that point, if he was closing, I think that might be one situation where I'd tackle, be like, hey,
what the fuck, though?
elephant in the room, dude. Come on now.
Well, you know who I really respect for owning it is David Letterman. Do you guys remember when the guy tried to blackmail him? David Letterman had been having affairs on his wife for many, many years. And I loved the David Letterman show growing up as a kid.
Sure.
It wasn't like a kid's show, but my dad worked graveyard and I'd watch it before he left. Anyway, the guy tried to blackmail him, handed him a manila envelope with like, how cliche, by the way, with all these pictures and stuff, and David Letterman said, thank you, took the envelope, went out on stage. I want to go back and watch that now that I'm older. And was like, by the way, I've been I'm sorry, but that, and you know what? David Letterman has a successful show now. People respected him. Monogamy is complicated. He owned it. But he never assaulted anybody either. But,
right.
But
which is a big difference.
Owning something that supposedly should be a secret.
And a valid question, really.
And had the money to do it.
Is cheating abuse. And that's a whole other podcast. I wish that the focus more was on the people who have actually been hurt by him. So let's check in with them and see and
how
ask.
do they feel about it?
What? First of all, are you like ensuring that they're okay? What would make you feel better? Like in the queer community, we do this thing, and it's kind of, I haven't seen it as much in the last like 5-10 years as I had previously kind of grown up with it. And that it's like action plans, and we hold people like accountability plans. And part of the reason for that is like if people in the gay community would like fuck up or do something terrible or bad, it's that for so long it's like living without like society's like open welcome arms. So we're already kind of oppressed. We can't really afford to lose our fam, too many of us. So it was like this notion of like accountability. So getting back like right with God, right? So getting back to good with the community. Sorry to
interrupt. So you're saying like a gay person commits a horrible crime or does something terrible, and that now everyone's thinking that's indicative of the entire population. Is that what you're talking about?
Both things. Okay. One that like even, and if it was something that was like maybe not like a terrible crime, but like somebody maybe got drunk and hit somebody. Yeah, okay. Right? You might not be excommunicated from the community for the rest of your life, but we need to see that you're making good choices and you kind of get put on this like path, whatever, to get back. And also, the PR we don't want. But like that would be like, it's not that, and the first step of it, most important step is like checking in with the victim and being like, what would it take for you to be comfortable? And if it's nothing, it's nothing. Like, but like check, like the victim comes first, like in consideration for how to punish the crime, console with the victim. And if the victim is, of course, like putting forth unreasonable, just like cruel and unusual.
Right.
Like, well, I would only feel better if I get to murder his dog. Like, okay, like that's obviously not
what
going
kind
to
of
be
dog
taken into consideration. Is it a shitty one?
What's it?
Is it one we could do without?
Is it one that always smells
Little
kinda?
tiny ones that yaps every
What this
time?
reminds me of is when I was a kid.
But like victim first.
yeah,
I
victim
agree with
first.
that. I think if I knew that his victims had said, "I'm fine with you performing and pursuing your career in whatever way you want to, as long as you recognize what you've done was wrong and
Try to do better."
If one of them said that, or both of them said that, I think it was 2 women that were there.
I think it was like. I think
heard
it was a
That would
couple.
make a difference to me.
I heard 2 women together, 1 woman alone,
Yeah.
and then the lady on the phone. I'm sorry, that said she could tell he was masturbating while he was on the phone.
It's just gross.
It's gross, but that one I'm just like, did you not have a regular landline in the 80s? Like, we got weird phone calls. Like,
I know,
phone
but
calls,
that goes back to that power dynamic thing.
Yeah.
Is that it's this manipulation and exerting of his power in
Yeah.
a situation to know. Like he wanted them to know that they couldn't. You know what I mean?
What sucks
Get
is
out
I
of it.
picture-
Like that's a gross.
I
feeling.
That's what I
picture
think.
him-
When I think about
picture-
what he
oh,
did.
Sick. Sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I picture him. What sucks is if he got blamed for that, and he really wasn't doing anything on that, and he was just like trying to stir up
Get
like
outta
a
here.
jar of Adam's peanut butter, like
Just
'cause
macaroni.
It's really hard macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
But no, like the Adams, because you got to really put some shoulder.
Get outta
You don't get it. And he was like, but really that one I didn't do. Like the rest of them, I was out of line.
Right.
But this one, I was just trying to get that oil at the bottom, so it didn't dry out and get gross. Like it's expensive peanut butter, and I really wanted to make sure it was stirred correctly. Real quick before we move on, I'm the whole not addressing it. When I was a kid, I had a friend, and she had an uncle that was an attractive older man. I was probably 12, 13 when we were hanging out, and I used to like, he was very charismatic, and he'd come over and like, she lived by me, so I was at her house a lot, and I was like, I think your uncle's cute. He was probably in his 30s, but looked young, and she was like,
You are
yeah,
just
I know. I had a good dad too. I have been boy crazy since I was like 5. No, but she said, yeah, there's weird stories between him and my mom, and I was like, oh. So it got brought back up again. And long story short, that he assaulted her. I don't need to go into detail. It wasn't like brutal, but it wasn't good. But the whole family knew about it. They had talked about it.
like sexually or like hit, like
Lots of touching and fondling, inappropriate. They were both younger, but they had talked about it as a family and decided that they weren't going to take it any further. He knew he did something wrong. However, whenever he would come over to the house, I just couldn't quit staring. All of a sudden, he was not as attractive anymore, that he was the creepy fondler. The
he's
tickler,
like a predator.
tickler file is what I called him in my head, because it was he liked to like get her down and tickle her, and like anyway, tickler file. I don't know why nobody's coined that term yet. Second, everybody was just hanging out, like, and nobody was talking about it.
Yeah.
He'd just come over and like, hey, how's your day?
This is the stuff that
make her
drives me
snack.
bananas. Is the lack of confrontation.
The
Can
sweeping
I
under
make
the
some
rug.
cereal?
Yeah.
Remember when I did
We
really
gotta
terrible
talk about
things
it.
to you?
That's
We gotta
easier. It's
talk
easier
about
to
it.
sweep things under the rug.
It's not,
It's the
though.
path of least resistance. Seemingly so.
Yeah, but it's like
I agree.
Every single time you see him, like you said, it's like that's in your head. So every single time whether or not he's endorsing it, he is forcing everyone else to like build up a scab by ignoring it every time. Don't say the thing. Don't say the thing. Don't say the thing. So like it now becomes everyone else's problem, or instead of taking ownership of it, right? And just like, we got to talk about this. Like I did this thing or whatever.
Yeah, it was fascinating to me. I mean, we might have been poor, and my
That's
mom
the way
might
of
have
family
liked
stuff too,
prescription
though.
drugs a lot,
Yeah.
but things were pretty normal at the house. Nobody was touching anybody, and like, so to me, it was like strange and interesting. And I mean, I've always been a people watcher, and like love to know what people are thinking and what makes them function. So it was fascinating to me in a very dark way.
Yeah.
I did not feel about him the way I felt about Rob Lowe. I would just like to point that out.
Rob was so good looking. I can't stress that enough. He is
I also felt this
handsome.
way about
He's
Great Balls of Fire when that came out with
Jerry Lee Lewis.
it was the Jerry Lee Lewis story, but with the guy that played him. It came out in like 92, 93.
played him.
I remember
that.
they tell the story how she's like 14 and he's old, and being the guy that played him. Oh, it's killing me. I need to look that
And
up.
related. Not just,
Yeah, but
I
I was
think they
still
were
like,
first cousins.
yeah, I was
So
still
it's,
kind of like,
double not good.
why don't I have a famous rich cousin? Like the things you think when you're a kid, you don't know. Like you're just like, oh, the reality of this is weird.
Speaking of that, You watch a lot of TV?
Not a ton.
Are you familiar with the show Before the 90 Days?
No.
It's a spin-off of a show called 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
It's the best thing on TV. Cool. I'm not kidding you. There is nothing better.
So the only reason I know about this is because I can't look that up now because my phone died.
Sorry to hear that.
Is because I got cable with the house I rented. It's the first time I've had cable in 10 years.
It's such a luxury.
So it's an American
yeah.
and a non-American who meet on the
Wild.
internet, okay? And they fall madly in love.
Amazing.
Oh,
Intentions become questionable.
there's no madly in love.
Intrigue. And then they bring the non-American to America for 90 days. That was the show 90 Day Fiancé. They have what's called a K-1 visa, and they have 90 days to make it happen. Otherwise, the foreigner has to hit the road, right?
But this one.
Before the 90 days is when they're just kind of meeting for the first time, and they're arranging the first meetup. So this is an American going to the foreign land, okay? And it follows about 6 couples. It is mayhem on top of mayhem.
So the
like it
blonde lady,
already.
there's this.
Angela and Michael.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
So
How do
good.
you have time to watch TV?
It's the only show I watch on TV,
That's
and me and my wife don't have a lot of commonality with movies and TV, but this is the show that binds our marriage tight.
This is the cement.
We get together and we watch our
peanut butter in your pad
Before the 90 days.
This is probably your guys' alone time because I'd love to come over and watch that with you.
Yeah, I think that's
you see me sitting on the end of your bed being
No.
like, this is so good, you guys.
It's a group show. The show demands viewer
community
commentary.
There it is. That's my favorite kind of show.
Yeah.
So
do you want to talk about Angela and Michael?
Yes, and then you can.
I love
Okay,
it.
so they're my favorite. So you can.
So
then you can,
good.
And we won't spend much time on this, but he and I have been talking about it a lot. It's actually this is one thing that we're both like, oh my God, yes. So Angela and Michael. Angela is what 52.
52.
And Michael is from
30.
He's 30, and he's from
Nigeria.
He's very articulate. He's bright.
Mm-hmm.
He really wants to come to America.
Very badly.
And she goes over there. To set this up, she looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife.
Such an aesthetic. Wow, an
It's
aesthetic.
like she could be her sister. And
Just tease.
Body type is similar to Gru from Despicable Me.
oh yes,
Large top body, skinny legs. Like if you were just
Skinny
seeing her from the waist down, you'd be like, hey, who's that?
Potato.
Right.
Yeah,
Toothpicks.
and we're not body
Very
shaming her, but it's rough. Like
But we want to give you an
because
accurate idea of who we're dealing with.
because she doesn't take.
Specifically the shape.
She's unhealthy, is what it is.
And she's loud.
She's loud
Loud
and she's
Southerner.
unhealthy. And she brings him a bunch of did you see that episode?
Oh, I've seen it all.
She
Are you
brings,
kidding me?
She brings him gifts.
Twice.
And the gifts are all Trump stuff.
Oh, she trumps him out.
Make America. Okay, so it was a hat.
Trumps him out.
Make America Great Again hat, a Trump shirt, a bumper sticker, a fake license plate.
Bobblehead.
Oh, the bobblehead.
Don't forget the bobblehead.
He loved the bobblehead.
He did
It was
like the bobblehead.
Super cute. And I guess apparently in this portion of the world they like Trump. I guess I don't know. He seemed very excited.
Oh, I have a little bit of
confused.
experience in this. So I went to Africa in 2013 and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And that was Tanzania and Kenya.
Jesus
Thank
Christ, I've made so many bad decisions.
you. So when I was there, though, Obama was
Tell
president.
us more, Brady.
Okay, first of all, Tanzania and Kenyans argue with each other about where Obama's from. The Tanzanians say he's from Tanzania. The Kenyans say he's from Kenya. And they wear Obama shirts
That's amazing.
and hats.
Love it.
And what I find out is they love America so much that they just adopt whoever. So Michael from the show
It's just like,
has like a
whoa.
little 8x11 frame of Donald Trump. Like on his, and he's like, he's my mentor. I love him and I want to meet him, go to America and I meet Donald Trump. It's like his dream come true,
Wanna
right?
Hug him and be like,
What a
buddy.
Bummer.
And then not Amanda.
No, that was funny.
Angela. Oh man.
If you can see me right now, I am pouting.
That wasn't anything.
I was gonna say she's
wasn't
my
it.
fear that I become that. Like we are both born.
I think you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty safe.
She's terrible.
And one of the hardest part of the show is you see this American in like a foreign land, and you just get embarrassed for like.
Oh, yeah. That,
This
like,
is why they hate
look at
us.
us. We're not
This
good.
is why they think like I want to be like she's not everybody. That's not everybody
you're
isn't
like,
like that.
Yeah, and his friends meet her. And his friends are like, no, what's...
Thank God for his friends.
His friends are like, what is going on here?
Well, Nigerian men like to be in charge.
Yeah.
They have a very
misogynistic. Let's
yeah,
just call it what
it's
it
very
is.
much gender roles.
Yeah.
Right? The man is the man and the woman is the woman.
And she is so
and
masculine.
she's not... And
That
he even
woman.
says that
He's
she's very
like,
masculine.
She's
Yes,
very loud
yes,
and
she's very masculine.
It's
to his
so
friends.
good. And he was like, I don't know. And she's always touching him and grabbing him, and you feel bad for him because you're like,
is uncomfortable.
he doesn't want you to touch and grab him. And she's like jumping on him in the hotel
So you're
room.
watching these
Jesus.
courtships, and it's just
I won't watch this.
It's
There's so much
so
more I want to tell you.
good. I mean, and then like you get to like just one story, one couple is good enough, and you get like 6,
Ugh.
and it's just
The
like
guy that went over, where did he go? And the girl ditched him after the first meeting.
Colombia.
Oh yeah,
Ricky.
Yeah, I love that
Ooh,
you know all
just
their
dipped
names.
out.
Okay, so Ricky goes on Colombia Cupid. Ricky's American. Okay, kind of a Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Look, short man,
Thick.
short man.
And he's all thick, but
Thick.
he's not ugly.
Yeah, he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Okay.
He has this one thing.
Dresses nice.
20 inches tall.
He
Anyway.
wears a fanny pack a lot in the
You
episode.
heard
though.
dwarfism? He's like
He wears
less.
he wears a fanny pack and a do-rag though, and those are unforgivable.
Unapologetically.
Yeah, just sporting them.
Oh, that's
He goes on Colombia
strong
Cupid and finds
choice.
this Colombian beauty.
beautiful.
I
I mean, she looks like
gorgeous woman.
she came with the frame. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Okay. But he goes to
Ideal.
Colombia without ever having a FaceTime chat, face to face.
and his friends are like,
And his friends are like, bro,
yeah.
it's not
What are
real.
you?
You're getting catfished,
Yeah.
but internationally.
I don't know what show you're going to be on, but you're going to be on some
And he
kind of show,
admits,
friend.
he admits that he sends her
Which
money
one's
every
it?
week.
Yeah.
And you're just like, and as a viewer, you're like, how come everybody knows but you?
Because they just want to believe so
Well,
hard.
and then
That's the one thing
there's-
I learned from Catfish, the
Yeah.
show, is like they just want to believe.
Okay, so it turns out, spoiler alert, didn't get catfish. She's real.
Cool.
But she like stands him up at a restaurant. She's supposed to be there like 7:30, doesn't arrive till like 10.
3 hours later,
Shows
and
up for
then-
like 15 minutes and then blows him off. And like, this guy came from America
Yeah.
to Colombia to see you.
Doesn't she say? They're like, well, what do you think? And they're like the confession cam, and she's like, he's a little fat.
And then she just leaves.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
Yeah,
Exactly what happened. He's like, hey, you want to hang out
But then he-
tomorrow? She's like, I'm studying. I got homework.
She doesn't like him.
Right.
mad
But
about?
then he meets
Yeah.
this other super hot, friendly Colombian girl that's
Cute.
totally all about him,
Right.
and they're
Works
getting it
out.
off.
And he just ruins every single good opportunity.
So much
Bad
about this
yeah.
show.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
honestly,
Full
this is
stop.
kind of derailed a little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
just telling you, this show is.
I will say, if it's not streaming, I will. I won't watch
You
it.
can come over to my house and watch it.
But I will say, because
Hang
we've
out.
spent 48 minutes talking about. No, I'm kidding.
And if nothing else, it's value in the scientific study of human behavior.
No, I want
and
to
it's
watch
nice
it.
to check out. It's
Yeah.
nice to check out and be like, I was sick and I watched it for a full day.
I found
I'm
a new
so-
show that I'm
What-
completely in love with.
I want to know.
What is it?
It's on Netflix. It's called 100% Better.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's a British makeover show.
done. I already finished it. I love it. I love it.
It's a British makeover
Okay.
show. There's a
much.
council of 3, just like tall, wispy, graceful, beautiful people
Okay.
that are the authority, and they are making under. So it's like they're taking people whose looks are
Yeah.
just like,
It's like
wow,
Queer
too
Eye.
much, and they're just like,
Like
zhuzh, no.
people who look like they go to prom every day.
Yeah, and there's one
Well,
lady
it's
that like
how I would call
but
prom.
it is, and it is extreme. It's so good. They find these amazing people. There's one lady that's like really, really trying to be Barbie, and she's just like, I'm obsessed with it. And I love it. And it was like fake tanner
they scrub her
everywhere.
down.
Okay, so not only is it like a gratifying make under show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then there were. I don't know who made this decision, but they're like, we want this to focus more on making them feel really bad and dumb for these choices they made. So let's just like lean into that. So every single episode,
Yes.
they have the entrance into like the
I love it.
consultation room,
Yeah.
and then it's just like a couple very long shots to each of the 3 of them just being like disgusted, and then go
No.
that look again, and then just be like shocked and like gross out and like ew, ew. So it's like really leans in, and then every contestant has to do like a challenge
Yeah.
to prove how bad they are
Which
at
is
making.
always public humiliation.
It's so embarrassing. Like this
Oh.
one boy just uses like so much hair product that his hair won't move, so he has to go and stand in front of a fan to like show that his hair doesn't move. They make another lady like shred her clothes. They make they take the Barbie lady and they make her go to the hardware store and have random strangers compare her skin tone to
To
wood
paint chips.
varnish. just to make sure.
So
that
I
you
wasn't
know what
sure.
You did.
I wasn't sure till wood varnish.
So petty.
Now I want to see this show.
So good.
And there's 2 per episode, so you get like a little whatever back, and it's just it's delicious, and it's so petty and mean, and you just like was there ever any confusion that like this person we know the formula, we're on a makeover show, like we know what's gonna happen. They're like make sure that they really feel bad about it, like really beat them down.
It's like if you took
so good.
if you took RuPaul Drag
Where
Race.
there's like a goth lady. It's
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah.
It's like if you took what
Oh,
not
she's
to
one
wear.
of the wispy, beautiful people, like a goth lady. No, oh, that's one of the make under people.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay.
I would say if you took what not to wear, RuPaul's Drag Race,
Just like a petty cattiness of
and
it. Yeah, it's very delicious.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which by the way, the revive of that
It's
series is
very,
amazing.
very good. I
haven't
But you
seen
put
that
all
yet.
those in a blender and you mix it up. It's this show.
And then you just take out like 20 minutes.
and Mean Girls.
You're like, good.
Yeah, Mean Girls.
And Mean
Throw-
Girls.
And Mean Girls.
For the mean quality.
It's quick. It's easy to digest.
Oh,
it's a lovely show.
I'm going to look into that. I like that.
But the guy with the longer hair, the
Mm-hmm.
hairstylist guy,
yeah.
he's so pretty.
I'm not.
He's annoying, but
A
he's
huge
really
fan,
pretty.
yeah.
He's annoying, but if you just look at me.
Okay, this is every take because this is another one you have to yell at it while it's playing. You know what I mean?
That's the only show I like to watch.
Every time they go to him for a reaction shot, it's just like, and we're acting. Like,
Yep.
you can hear him in his head be like, and I'm acting.
He actively like puts up
gross
cat
out.
paws.
Oh no.
You know when like
Oh,
people
that's
put up
great.
cat paws, you're like, oh my god.
He's
Okay.
You should also.
Okay, I'm into this.
terrible.
I'm into this already.
You and your wife should also give the new 2 series. There's 2
wanted.
seasons of Queer Eye.
Okay.
For the straight guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and you'll weep.
Oh god, the ones where they make the old guys up. I love those.
Oh, I don't want to
ones.
cry. Are you kidding me?
No, you just. Well,
like
you
a
probably
good cry.
won't.
It's a good
You'd have to
cry.
have like. You won't, but we
It's
did.
touching.
That's
Yeah.
what I have Disney movies for.
I know. Isn't that good?
They are so good.
Moana.
Listen, it's the best thing about having kids is that I have to go to the theater to go see this new Pixar movie.
That's how my friend from
fantastic.
Guatemala
I
learned to
always
speak
want to
English.
go, by the way.
You can come with me.
I
I
thought
would
that
invite
was
you.
very
I'll
interesting.
bring one of the kids.
Yeah. Where we going, Dad? We're picking up Caitlin.
Here's
Why?
your Uncle Kate. We're going to go.
She likes it too.
She likes singing in the movies too.
She's special.
Someone earnestly asked me in a conversation over like very grown up drinks. They were talking about film, and they go, "Well, what do you think your favorite movie is?" And shamelessly, Lilo and Stitch. And they were like, "Okay." They were just like the artistry and the film thing of this, and I'm just like tuning out and thinking about Fruity Pebbles or something. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Right.
They go, "Okay, well, what's your unapologetic Lilo and Stitch? Second, Moana.
More. You got it.
Third, Dumb and Dumber. Where do you? This is me.
Right.
I'm just being honest right now.
Yeah.
I once broke up with a girl in college because she didn't like Dumb and Dumber.
I support you.
Well, I was
100%.
like, I knew right then this isn't going anywhere. What?
This has no future.
Right.
My little sister and I almost had the entire movie memorized for like dialogue.
It's so good.
My
And it
boss
holds up.
quoted it to me the
It
other
does.
day.
It holds up.
It's
Ace
a great
Ventura.
karaoke movie. Like you can sing along with
yeah.
it.
Ace Ventura does not
Not
hold up.
It does not at all. It does
That
not
is,
at all.
I loved Ace Ventura and I've watched it recently.
Do you know what else does not hold
You're a
up?
terrible-
The Labyrinth.
terrible
I'm
person.
sorry.
Oh, really?
No, it
Okay, I'm
doesn't.
gonna go watch that to make sure you're
I
wrong,
love
'cause
that
I'm pretty
movie
sure you're wrong.
and I love it because of the nostalgia. That part stayed for me because it was one of my favorite movies. But as an adult, The Labyrinth is really
it's
about a
kinda
grown man
long.
telling her not
Yeah.
to keep the baby.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And it is like even in the pacing of it, like
So
it is
much
kind of
bulge.
long.
good
It does.
music.
It moves kind of slow.
It's kind of
but
like Alice in
I love
Wonderland
it
and Wizard
still.
of Oz. I mean, I love it because it's David Bowie and it's
It is
the costumes
nostalgic.
are great.
And what's her name is the lady that plays
Jennifer Connelly?
Jennifer Connelly,
Jennifer. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we are at my favorite portion of the podcast. We are a food podcast, and my contribution to the food aspect of our podcast was Dollar Tree Gourmet.
I'm excited and nervous.
Brady, as a doctor, as a grown man
Right.
that keeps children alive, has a wife,
I
a car, and a home.
all those things.
Did you know they sold food at the Dollar Tree?
I've only purchased cough drops from the Dollar Tree. That's the only thing
ate them all up. No.
that I know for sure that I've purchased. I did not know. So no, the answer is no. I did not know that there was food at the Dollar Tree.
How many times have you eaten from the Dollar Tree, Kaylin?
Who can count?
Right. As comics, the Dollar Tree comes in quite handy. They keep expanding with their food. It's gotten better. My friend Will Woodruff, he was a roommate of mine, passed away last year, 2016. He always wanted to do a podcast, and he wanted to call it the Dollar Tree Gourmet. But you can only go so far with that. But the whole thing about the Dollar Tree Gourmet is you walk in, you have $5 or less to make the most exotic, delicious meal you can. You wonder what I've prepared for you today, don't you?
Do any Dollar Trees ever have Taco Bells inside of them? Like,
no, but this is why you're an amazing businessman,
did we
Brady.
just invent something amazing?
Yeah, I think
The
you
future
did.
of Taco Bell is in the frozen aisle.
It should be like a Jack in the Box. They have those janky little gross tacos that are disgusting. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
So what I've made for you guys is Dollar Tree Pad Thai.
Oh boy. It looks okay.
Let's do
Okay,
this.
so
let's
you
do,
can't-
let's do this. Let's do this.
I'm going to put no peanut allergies, I would assume.
No,
Neither people.
I have no food allergies.
Kaylin, do not fake a peanut
I
allergy
really
right
want
now.
to. I might be allergic.
No,
Who
you are not.
knows?
Okay.
It looks
so-
like it looks like you captured some dog vomit
No, I did not.
in a very
It's still kind of warm.
That's how I like my pad thai. Kind of warm.
warm.
Kind of warm.
Once you, so what I'd like you guys to do is I'd like you to taste it.
Oh no.
I'd like you to compare it to, describe it as if it were a car that you were going to buy.
Okay.
Also, if you guys, there are 4 ingredients, 5 including the peanuts I just put on the top. So you get one bonus one. If you guys can name what I've put in this and what it's made out of, you win my.
We're gonna
Did
send
you
my
buy
respect.
the noodles from the dollar?
Everything there was purchased from the Dollar Tree.
And
oh,
the
look at Brady's face.
and the
I love
forks.
this. So if you guys listening, Brady's going in like he's eating insects.
Yeah, you went in like the fucking
Oh,
food
and
that's
Kayla, no,
so
you take that
much.
big bite.
I'm
You
not
take the,
taking. You don't boss me around. These are ramen noodles.
and my hands were clean. It was all cooked.
Sure.
It's all clean. Yeah.
I get
Oh,
more.
Brady's going in for a second bite.
It's
Why?
spicy.
Though? We don't have to, right? We don't have to have a second bite. Do we?
I will bet you the $4 it took for me to make that, you take another bite if we leave that on the table in front of you.
It's ramen noodles.
Okay. Okay. Oh, go ahead. I don't want to.
See, I told you. You're going in. One more bite.
I don't and off-brand peanuts.
Yes. That Randall got in a mix.
Did you pick out the peanuts from?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
I'm tasting that. I'm tasting that.
It was 85% peanuts and then like some other mystery nuts.
I'm tasting mystery nut leave behind. Like just
Like that weird, like it makes your mouth kind of numb. What is that?
no, I don't think you're supposed to eat those. I think we found another allergy,
Do you know what I-
Amanda.
Clove does. Clove does that. Clove makes your mouth numb.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's cloves in there though.
I love the.
This is like something that I thought I was not gonna like, but then I ate it and I was like, okay, I can get into this. That would be like a Prius to me. Like I would think I would not like a Prius, but then I've been in a Prius and I'm like, it's actually
This makes
kind of
sense.
this is kind of dope.
Right?
Like I would totally do this if it weren't super embarrassing for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
I feel the same way about this Dollar Tree Pad Thai Gourmet, which is like
You could eat this for lunch.
I could see myself eating this voluntarily, especially if I'm on a financial pinch.
but you don't want to like run into friends,
I don't want anyone to know about it. I'm not telling anybody.
right?
I
did
would make
this.
that for friends and be
Oh.
like, dude, and I would put it in takeout boxes.
Oh,
And I'd be like, I
like
stopped.
that.
And if it, you were maybe making a little bit more money, you just did a gig and you had some chicken to throw in there. Reminds me of Arrested Development. You stick that. You stick that.
still going, baby.
Thank you, Randall. Put that in a pot and you got
yeah,
yourself a stew.
yeah.
Randall liked it. Randall
Randall
is
likes
our
garbage things.
sound engineer.
So
and
there is some like red pepper
Yeah.
or tomato. What do you think that is?
That's a sun-dried tomato.
That's-
if I had to say,
wrong. It is a
dang it.
rehydrated pepper.
It's not rehydrated. It's a canned chili pepper, chipotle chili pepper. Would you like the ingredients list now?
yes.
Or
It is chicken top ramen,
yeah,
4 packets, 2 seasoning things. So you boil it so it gives the noodles a little bit of chicken flavor. Then it is Dollar Tree I love the appalled look on Caitlin's face right now. It is Dollar Tree peanut butter. They come in very small
The tiniest little
jars,
Oh.
and they have 32 grams of sugar in them.
You put actual peanut butter in there. It's not.
That's what they make peanut sauce out of.
It's not just peanuts.
No,
Okay.
it's peanut butter
Okay.
with chicken wing sauce. Chicken wing buffalo sauce.
That's a nice touch.
This is getting more impressive.
Yeah. So you have top ramen
that
noodles.
you accomplish this flavor with that alchemy.
Alchemy. I like
Yeah. Wizard of the Dark Arts right here.
wizardry.
Because I honestly thought it was like a flavor I assume like naked ramen noodles. This was my theory. Naked ramen noodles, and then like a packet of like pad thai season. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like a
thank
thing
you.
on it.
I appreciate that.
And then you found a wet blood clot on them. And just threw that in there.
Threw it in
It's
for
only $1,
texture.
so
Blood clots are free.
Chicken top ramen, peanut butter, hot wing sauce, and chipotle canned peppers. Oh, and salt that I'd previously purchased at the Dollar Tree that just happened to be at my house. So it counted. So
You're
$5. And how much do you think that weighs? That probably.
this is a solid pound and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Randall was going to.
I got an extra fork.
Yeah, you got you a fork.
Yeah.
Randall would have eaten off of her fork.
Dig in. No, I could see myself. I could see myself buying this. And be like,
It's off-putting to me, like all cars are. Off-putting is the ramen noodle texture because it's supposed to be a soup, and I know it's supposed to be a soup,
Yep.
and so when it's just like thick and heavy, like a little bit gelatinous, like that's the wrong texture with that texture. Like these things are wrong.
I do feel like I could have cooked the noodles less
That
time.
would have been.
Made them a little bit more al dente.
Yeah.
I can keep trying.
I
know
would
what?
compare this to a city bus. It's
Like one of
useful
the-
if you need it.
Caitlin's analogy is so much better than mine. So
It's
much
useful.
better.
It's there for everyone. It's accessible. Do I want to? Absolutely not. Will I if I have to? Absolutely. I
You know
will
what?
put my
I'll take that.
earbuds in and I will power through.
I will take that. Oh,
I'll probably be stoned.
Yep.
That's the kicker. If I was stoned out of
Fair.
my mind,
Fair.
I could get through, like one ramen packet worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that's so much.
it is a lot, but
It's heavy and it's dense.
it is that's a pre-run. That is a budget pre-run mix.
I'm impressed with what you did.
That is
Thank you. I
very-
really
is very
appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my Dollar Tree Gourmet. You mentioned City Bus, and real quick, I just want to tell a very funny story. Something I did. I sent this to the boys the other day.
This is
or the
good.
guys. So I work downtown Portland. I have a day job. I do business-to-business IT sales, and everybody coming from downtown Portland at 4:00, we're all just like middle-aged people that just got off work and just need a little bit of quiet. Like you can look down the path and you can see everybody's badges, their door badges hanging off their,
They're
like,
just
just
ready.
sad, just. bleh. So I get on the bus and there is a very, very drunk, homeless woman that obviously has some mental health issues, which kind of get evened out with the large 22-ounce can of Milwaukee's Best Ice.
Atta babe.
It's 4:30 in the afternoon with a towel over her head. And she is just screaming.
I should just come from the spa.
But she's
That was my thought.
no, it was for warmth.
Gotcha.
She wasn't screaming obscenities. She was having the world's loudest cell phone conversation without a cell phone.
Cool.
And she was like, and I miss him and I wonder what happened, but I just don't know how to get a hold of him anymore. And blah, blah, blah. And I had to stop. And I'm watching everybody around me just melt and I'm melting. And I can
that's
hear
sad.
her over my noise canceling headphones. So I take my headphones off. I get in my
Bougie
purse
bitch.
and I grab $1 and I pull it out and I look at her because she's right in front of me. We're face to face. And I said, hey. And I wasn't condescending. I wasn't rude. I talked
No,
to-
definitely
I
not.
wasn't. I said, if I give you this $1, will you please stop it until 70th and Holgate? That's all I need. I don't care what you do when I get off. Will you make me a bet that you will take this? And she was like, yes. And she took the $1. And then she started to be a loud again. And I looked at her and I was like, I was talking to her like you talk to a child kind of, but not, I wasn't being mean. She was talking about how she needed money.
You become so much more of an asshole the longer the story goes.
Oh, it gets worse. So Then the girl next to me gets up. She gets off the bus. I sit back down, and she's like, "But I have a question." And I was like, "I want my $1 back." And she said, "No." And I was like, "We made a bet. Are you going to keep our bet? You have 14 blocks. Are you going to keep your bet?" And she's like, "Yes." She just sat there. It was adorable. And then I got up at my stop and I said, "Thank you for keeping your bet." And she high-fived me and I got off the bus and the bus driver looked at me and was like, "Have a great day. Thank you." So that's my bus story.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
I don't think it was mean. She got money. She said she needed money. I wasn't
Seems like a
rude to
win-win
her.
for everybody.
You're so sensitive.
No,
I wasn't
I just
mean
think
to her.
it's so funny that you're like, and then I took off my $80 noise canceling headphones.
Oh, they were free for doing. No, they were $200 noise canceling headphones that I got for free for taking a lunch and learn at my job, and they're awesome. They have a head, like a mouthpiece on them because I wear them at work.
Oh, you nerd.
Oh, dude, I totally wear those to do dishes and talk on the phone. They're amazing. Like I was like, these are phenomenal. Okay, so that wraps up our Dollar Tree bus.
It's a bus. It's a city
Bribing the homeless section.
The taste stays with you. I will.
Doesn't.
I will say that.
I want you to think about me after you leave, for a couple days.
Mouthwash, you're right.
Yeah. You got me rethinking my whole life here with this. Because I got a Dollar Tree in the parking lot of my office.
Yeah, the Vancouver one.
This could be mine.
Every day.
Every
The
day.
world is your ashtray. You can
Right.
When I go see
manifest your lunch destiny.
I'm spending way too much money on donuts for the staff. Brady's staff's wonderful. He has
They love your donuts. They love your generosity.
Yeah,
It's very nice of you.
Well, I go to that bakery, the little Hispanic bakery right down the it's like, I don't know, a mile from your office. It's this little hole in the wall. It's next to a huge candy store. How are candy stores still staying in business, by the way?
If they have the old school candies.
This has all the candies.
Yeah.
Is it like Rocket or what's that one?
No, this is,
Rocket Pop?
I don't know.
like, this is in Vancouver, Washington, in a strip mall. And it is just like, we sell sugary popcorn and all the candy. Bring your kids. And
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
it was enough where at 39, I still saw it and I was like, oh, this place looks fun. Yeah. Like, you know, like that kid
That's how
comes
they
out
say
and-
business.
And it's next
Exactly.
Candy.
You answered your own question.
And it's next door to a bakery
Yeah.
where they have delicious baked goods. And I bring him to, it's funny that he's my dentist and I bring his staff just straight sugar.
Oh, that's all we want.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by our profession that we don't like the sweets. I was gonna say, I bet that candy store gets a lot of 39-year-olds that walk in and it's like, "Hey, you guys got Pop Rocks?"
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we got Pop Rocks." You're like, "I'll take all of them.
I'll take all your Pop Rocks.
I want all the Pop Rocks."
I want
They've
Pop-
got staying value. Like they have staying power. Pop Rocks are never not fun.
Yeah.
There's a bar that we go to that had Jello shots and they put Pop Rocks on the
Yes,
top of it.
that's doing it right.
I don't order Jello shots as a general rule. Pop Rocks, not give me. Line them up.
Yeah, I put them on my steaks.
I want to.
They are.
They got a little fight.
It's
a
like
little
it's like
citric
a little
acid.
firework. Anything you do,
You're really
so good.
elevating.
I want to
love
get
it.
Pop Rocks and not let you know about it and have a good, like, just silent moment and just put them in my mouth and just let them crinkle right in the microphone.
Oh, that'd be great.
Have you, like, looking around randomly, panicking?
I'll be like,
What?
someone has
Someone's on
Pop
fire.
Rocks.
Hey, your Pop Rocks.
Who has Pop Rocks?
And you got to do that weird wow, wow.
Yeah. How well would you say you are familiar with the musical catalog of Weird Al Yankovic?
Small.
Okay.
to-
Well, that's perfect because we have a quiz.
Yee, pop quiz.
Yeah. So today's quiz is brought to you by Weird Al Yankovic. So we want to
getting
keep with
back
the
in?
food. With the food.
Oh, good.
How well do you know Weird Al Yankovic?
I feel
I feel like
pretty
more than
confident?
me.
So
But
here's the way
I
this
did grow up a band geek, so just
here's the way this episode's quiz is going to work. I'm going to give you the title of a Weird Al song
Okay.
that is food themed, and you will give me the title or the artist. I will accept the artist of the song that he is parodying.
covering.
Speaking of parrot, there was a parrot at Helium Open Mic last night. I just had
A
to
real
say
one?
that because I can't
saw that.
sit on this.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a real. It wasn't
It
a
was
big
a-
parrot. It was a little one.
Yeah, but it was a real one, which is more important than its size.
Well, how big was it?
No, it wasn't.
How big
like
was
one
it,
of the-
Caitlin?
It wasn't one of the big tropical ones.
And yeah. Is that it? Or it was macaws or something?
Macaws or something.
So it was just,
Yeah, macaws are huge.
it was
didn't
like
talk.
this size of a bird.
She's putting her fingers about 6 inches.
Side story about birds. The house that I grew up in, my family did this thing. I have 8 siblings, and we went and recreated old photos because we are trendy. And we went to the old house we used to live in, and we
That's so
knocked on the door to
cute.
do some stuff.
saw one of them
Okay,
on the
our
other.
house that we grew up in is now a bird sanctuary
Oh,
for like sick, molting birds because the
Maybe,
whole
yeah.
house was just bird cage. I was like, how
Ooh,
many
and
birds do you
smell
have?
it immediately. Yeah.
33 birds.
Birds don't
That's-
belong in cages.
That's
you
where
guys.
I grew up. Anyway, it was really sad because it was hard to recreate pictures when it's like, can we move the bird cage? Is that all right? Also, it smells weird in here.
That's not birds
Yeah,
dying.
one bird will make your house reek. Like,
Also, I'm pretty sure you're going to
birds
get
and
like
hamsters,
cancer or
man.
something. Okay, so there are 15 questions, 15 songs that we're going to talk about.
so we need to give you the name or
I'm gonna
title
give
of
you-
the original songs.
The name or the title of the original song or the artist.
the artist.
that he. I will also accept that.
I'm impressed there's 15 food theme songs
Oh, yeah.
in the Weird Al catalog.
Weird Al's all about food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
really likes
Here's
them.
the name of the song. Weird Al song, Fat.
Michael Jackson. Yep. It's
Yeah,
Michael
you're right.
Jackson.
It's the song "Bad" by Michael Jackson.
Bad.
And it's
Okay?
on the black or white.
I will sing it if someone doesn't know. If we're not. Lasagna.
Look,
Oh, hold on. I know this lasagna.
Give you a hint. La 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 lasagna.
Oh, La Bamba.
look,
There it is.
Ricky Allen.
There it
no,
is.
I don't. Okay.
Addicted to
I'll get in here.
Spuds.
You're addicted to love.
Addicted. Yeah.
Boom. Nice. I love Rocky Road.
I love rock and roll.
That's right.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
That's right.
I thought Rocky Horror Picture Show. was
Nope.
I see.
Spam.
Ham.
Okay. Well, this
That's
turns
just a
into
word
a
that
different game. This is now just word association.
Words that rhyme.
Heck, go.
Okay. Spam.
Bam.
Spam in your lunchbox at work.
Oh, it's stand in the place.
Stan is the name of the song.
Yeah.
R.E.M. Yep.
You said the right words, but you sang it in a way I've never heard that song
I can't
sung
sing.
before.
Because I can't sing.
Me neither.
I can't sing.
It's so much creativity.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Eat it.
Beat it. Michael
You got it,
Jackson.
you
I
got
got
it.
it. I had to get it. I knew that one. It's the only
The
one.
white stuff.
Got the right
Gross.
stuff. New Kids on the Block.
Nailed it.
Gross.
My baloney.
My Sharoni
Sharona.
or what's
My
my
Sharona. It's my Sharona.
It is my
That was points.
Sharona.
My Sharoni.
Yeah.
Sharoni.
Okay. Taco Grande.
You're my Sharoni. Taco Grande. Rico Suave.
Yes. Yes. Good job. Oh, she's getting
This was
fired
the
up.
parrot that we inherited
Yeah.
from my grandfather, which I ended up talking about
More
a lot at the
parrot
open mic
stories?
last
Yeah.
night, was named Rico Suave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And he
that's
used to just
cute.
say his own fucking name for 6 hours a day.
My
great.
boyfriend in high school,
Rico.
his mom had parrots that said, "What now?" Because she was
That's
always answering the
funny.
phone, being like, "What now?"
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. The Rye or the Kaiser?
The rise of the what?
The Rye or the Kaiser? It's right there. Hold on.
The Rye or the Kaiser?
I know this.
Sing me a.
Yeah.
Rye or the Kaiser?
The heat of the night.
I the tiger.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Foil. Let's get to some of the newer stuff. Foil is the name of the song.
Boil, spoil, die, all die. Pretty.
Oil.
It's Royals by Lord.
Oh, that's funny. I,
I
wanna hear
really
that
like
now.
that
That's a good one. It's a
Pull
good
that
one. Trapped in the drive-through.
Trapped in the. I know that. It's You're just making faces.
I don't know this one.
Trapped in the closet.
Yes, R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yes. Grapefruit diet.
Oh, that's like my bar fruit diet. Did I tell you about the
Grapefruit diet.
Grapefruit.
What are you doing? I can just hear your mouth sound.
Our sound
Sing it.
engineer
Sing
knows
it.
it.
Sing it.
Fruit diet.
Oh, right.
Zootsu
Right.
right. Yeah, you got it.
Cherry Pop and Daddies.
I'm
Yep.
like, we're just trying to say words.
I've seen Cherry Pop and Daddies like 5 times in concert.
Wow, that's 5 more times than I have seen
I like
Cherry Pop and
Are
Daddy.
you
Cherry Pop
fucking
and
those
Daddies. Okay.
ska guys? Oh, no.
It was the guy that was in the Cake Tribute Band.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh, no.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more, guys. Living in the fridge.
Living on the
edge?
Yes, Living on the Edge by Aerosmith. Good job. And Girls Just Want to Have Lunch.
Yeah,
Girls Just Wanna Have Fun.
That's perfect.
That was the
That's good.
first. I bought that 45 when I was 5 years old at Tower Records. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I had a 45. That's how old I am.
That's a great song.
We listened to a lot of Weird Al because played band, and then we moved to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And all the kids in our little like end of street whatever group,
Yeah.
all other band nerds too. I don't know how this happened, but it was a blessing. It's
Yeah.
like nerds band together.
Power
So
numbers.
we would practice our like instruments together, like
Yeah.
practice for
Yeah.
pep band, jazz band, whatever. But then also
Carry
listen
each
to
other's saxophones and
only I play the
cellos
saxophone. They play the trumpet and the trombone. But we listen to Weird Al because
Weird
we're
Al's
fucking dorks. The other thing
Yeah.
we listened to was hardcore rap, like gangster rap, and Metallica.
Goes
Those
hand in
were our
hand.
3 categories.
yeah.
I wonder if you buy a Weird Al album on Amazon, was like, things you might also like. Metallica.
I went through a
Rough Riders,
Writers.
Eve.
People also purchased.
Rough Riders mount up.
Like, oh,
I went through a black
those go together.
DMX.
I didn't think so, but they do.
or Master P. No. I like 50 Cent. There was a big
Yeah.
one during then because we're not that far apart, right?
No, I
You're
turned
30?
36 this weekend. Oh,
Brady's-
tell no one.
Brady's 37.
37.
I'm
Yeah.
39.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's today's quiz, everybody.
you. I
guys
love
did
your
a great.
quiz.
You guys did a great job. That was
Yeah.
good. I was worried. I almost had to. I didn't want to
That
give it
was one
away,
of
so I
your
was going to
better
ask you
ones.
ahead
It
of
was a
time.
perfect quiz.
I was going to ask you ahead of time, like
was
how well you felt
wonderful.
with that. But I was like, you got to know that.
You got it.
I had such a good point, and it's gone now.
That's on you.
About the music.
You can't
Grab it
blame
back.
us.
It's in the
About the
ether. You just got to.
musics.
It's still in this room.
It's in there. It's
About
in
the
here.
musics. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Caitlin, I wish you luck in Los Angeles.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything you want to talk about how people can know about you? What's the best way to know? Do you have a website or do you have a Twitter or
She'd like you to come to her house.
Yeah, definitely.
do you want to leave your address? Okay.
I hate Facebook, but I'm on the gram at Uncle Kate, CAIT, and Twitter, Uncle Kate, CAIT. And my website also, because my name is hilariously long and hard to spell and full of vowels.
Yeah.
So you can find it by going to CaitlinWeierhauser.com, but you can also find it by going to UncleKate.com. And I don't have a calendar, nor am I good at posting any of my shows. I really like to keep it a mystery.
Okay.
But I have a couple before I leave Portland, and I promise to try to do a good job of putting them up before I leave so that you can maybe come and see some going away shows. Am I doing more than one? Yes, I am. And then
Good.
in LA, just send me money probably, or yeah,
Right.
I'll probably just do that.
Okay.
When Caitlin was in the festival and I had to spell her name over and over and over again, Weierhauser was what I thought in my head. I also just started calling her the German.
Yeah.
Weierhauser.
It's also fun, E-I-E-I-O, you do the old McDonald thing.
Yeah.
And that's right in there. Also, my favorite was that you did spell my name right, but you misspelled.
Oh, we're going to talk about it? Are we going to talk about it, Caitlin?
What did you
Okay,
misspell?
no, let me tell this story. Caitlin is,
I'm
excuse
a
my language,
good
is an
friend.
asshole.
I am a good
She's an asshole.
friend.
So, Caitlin is... we're lovely. Like
I know.
we like get each other.
Yep.
And we can be mean to each other, but it's like, oh, you
Our
know.
relationship is like cousins.
Yes.
Well said.
Competitive.
Yeah,
Well
we're
said.
not as mean like as siblings would be. Like cousins, though, you like meet up like family stuff. You're like, fuck yeah, the fun cousins here.
Yeah, the fun cousin. Yeah. And I'm like, our
Let's go pick on the
comedy-
other ones.
And I always feel awkward saying this, but like, I was writing a joke about pugs, and then Caitlin, I'd been writing on it for like 3 weeks, and it was going to be good. And then I come to the mic, and Caitlin has this awesome, amazing joke that was better than mine about pugs. And that's the thing. It wasn't like she had this crappy joke about pugs, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, you ruined it, because mine was going to be, no, it was really good. So I was
Yeah.
like, whatever.
I've heard
You
your
can-
pug bit. It is really
you can
good.
take
Thank you,
your
it's
pug
my
bit,
favorite.
It is so good.
and you can take it to the pound.
Okay. Yeah.
So then she has another bit about skydiving. I had a joke about skydiving. And where do squirrels poop? I have that video. I found it. We had that same thought. Where does I
That
have
to me is amazing. That this is
that? I'm going to send you that clip tonight.
hope so.
It's from. I had been doing comedy maybe a year.
Yeah.
It said the Blitz over by Helium, is where I told that joke at, and I'm.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that
Yeah.
like weird.
It was a weird,
bar or whatever, or
and then
games bar, I
chicken
don't know.
candy, not a joke, just
A real thought.
for our listeners. Caitlin and I were both poor growing up, and she has this whole bit where she talks about eating bouillon cubes, and they come in
You're
beautiful,
so gracious right now.
beautiful gold wrappers, and calling them chicken candy. And I thought I was the only one that did that. Nope, just sucking on just salty little.
Not the whole. I would lick them like a little jawbreaker. Like I'd
go back and forth.
That's
yeah, I could put
understandable.
the whole thing in.
I remember
Like,
those. Yeah.
So much.
No,
Rich.
I remember sugar cubes. I would down sugar cubes. Like, I don't know why, but cubed and crystallized, I was like,
Yeah.
this is better.
Like I have a
Well, that
line
was
in
fancy. Like
Yeah.
who had sugar cubes?
I have
Like,
a line in that story about eating handfuls of pebbly brown sugar, and that's like
Oh, I did that
most
too.
Specific.
I did that like yesterday.
when you
You
put
get a big rock of it.
when you put the
It's
bouillon
like on all day
cube-
long. All day long. It's like a snack all day.
What are we like?
when you put the bouillon cube in the pocket of your cheek, it
Oh,
would
it just
change
eats
the
through.
texture. It would change the texture of the
so
inside of your
gross.
cheek.
It's not good for you.
At that point,
Yeah, it would,
and
like,
then you
model
can
it.
like
It would be
rub
like-
it all day with your tongue. Anyhow,
Like an orange
so
rind.
I produce a festival. I'm like,
Sizzles a hole through, it just falls out the external outside.
so this
What?
is why she's an asshole.
This is so far why I'm great.
Yeah, it was really funny. Like, so I produced a comedy festival. The girl that I did it with,
You're telling too much of a story.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we were under a lot of pressure to get a lot of stuff done, and we were spending like 16-hour days. I made these little like things for them to post on their Instagram that were awesome.
They were,
by the way,
so cool,
so detailed, beautiful. But what did it say? It said, what was the word that we spelled wrong? God, I gotta think about it.
I don't remember what it was. Here's the worst part. I knew that she'd been working 16-hour days. I knew
I was
how much stress she
so
was
tired.
under.
Yeah.
I knew how much how frustrated she was about getting this stuff out on time. And like, I totally felt it. I knew exactly where she was at. And that's why instead of like emailing her, I made the better choice. And I just like reposted it like with the misspelling. It was just like making fun
Which
of
I
it
didn't see.
in front of God and everybody. So that
I
turned
didn't
into,
see until it had 103 likes.
yeah,
On Instagram.
I got to 105. Oh, show schedule to be announced.
Announced.
Announced. We're going to announce it.
Beautiful. That's a great graphic. Hate you.
See, it's just funny.
So much.
That's great.
It's a funny misspelling because you can say it. Like,
Anoints. It's
We're
fun
gonna
to say.
anoint it.
We're gonna anoint it. Get over it. So I fixed hers.
You know, it might be funny if you misspelled every single word in the whole thing.
Except for my name. She got my name perfect.
Because I spelled
Nailed
it
Weierhauser.
like a billion times.
That's great.
I'm probably the only person in Portland comedy that knows how to spell yours, Niraj's, and Mohammed's names.
Oh, I just want to read for the record the comment thread here.
Yeah,
Because
go
it
ahead.
said show scheduled to be announced. Amanda commented 32 comics. They've been out 3 days. You're the first to point it out. It was wrong on every single bodies.
Yeah, everyone.
Asterisk strongly considers just leaving it till the schedule comes out in the next 2 days. Just
man.
leave it.
So then
That's like my wife's nightmare. She's such a grammar
Me too.
fiend.
So I fix it that night. I had a whole bunch of other stuff. No, I'm gonna fix
People
these.
loved it and they were just like,
So I fixed it, and then I sent her fixed one, and all I said was, "Thanks for the gentle nudge."
yeah. It was.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Caitlin, it has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Again, wish you luck
Thank you
in
very
all your
much.
endeavors.
Thank
Do you guys want me to take the pad thie home, or you guys?
What do you
want me to-
think?
Do you think your kids want to give that a shot? Like,
No.
No, don't feed that to them, hon.
No, because I love that.
Maybe we can get your wife to taste it before I leave.
You know, I can't get George to eat normal food.
Oh, I know. We're trying to quit that. George is the one we hung out with.
He's addicted to pouches. You familiar with pouches?
Wait for.
Like
The
soft
fruit
baby
pouches?
food.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
the little squirt. Like they've got a
Yeah.
little spigot.
Squirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good.
So-
You know what?
We don't use like baby food, like Gerber baby
Right,
food,
right.
because it's get messy. But these, like, they know how to like.
Self-administer.
Yeah,
So it's just like boom there.
I get it.
But
Like I love any food that comes in a package.
Yeah.
Like, give me gyoza, give me ravioli, give me like.
And
a
they can
little
be super
pouch of
young,
food.
like
I get
less
it.
than 2 years old, and they can do it. And it's, as a parent, you're like,
What a dream.
oh, getting them self-sustaining as soon as possible. Is
It was really cute though. We were sitting there, and he's 2.5, so he's really like. It took me about an hour to like win him over and finally get him to play with me. And then I'm sitting there, and I have a tank top on, and like the most like unattractive like haunchy part of my back is like showing a little bit. And he comes up, and he
That's his
just.
favorite part.
I get it
On
though, because
everybody.
it's soft, it's cushy.
He looks for it,
But he
even
just,
if you're not showing it.
but he just
wants to
lifted.
fit in
He'll pull
there.
this up and be like,
He just
What's
lifted
in
my
there?
shirt, and he took a whole handful of it. It was just this cute little cold hand and just like shook it. And and Brady was like, we hadn't really like hung out that much yet. And Brady's like, if you could just tell him no thank you. So I'm like, no thank you. It was so awkward. Trying to not scar this kid. I don't want him to hate women or like want to like lift up. That could scar.
Let me get in that squish.
So you're just like, no thank you.
You know, we do the best we can. We just let the chips lie where they lie.
You just cute.
Either they'll figure it out or they won't.
Right.
So I just grabbed his.
That's so funny.
Come back, yeah.